Brock, before we get to any of it, we've been going through our most intriguing Seahawks list. We started at number 25 with Drew Lock. We will get to number 1 here, I think, before the last preseason game. I think that's roughly how it works out. Today, though, we are on to
number 14.
Number 14 is Cameron Young, the nose tackle defensive lineman who the Seahawks drafted in the 4th round this year. They're a 3-4 team that doesn't really have a nose tackle. Like, we can talk around this however many ways we want. We can get all the descriptions of what they run and the various multiples that they run, etc. But at its core, when you simplify it, they sure look to me like a 3-4 team without a nose tackle. And he might be the closest thing they have to a nose tackle on this roster. So if stopping the run is their biggest question mark, a good start to the season for Cameron Young might be as important to anything that we've seen for this team, because that right now is their biggest gaping hole. And if he fills it, you no longer have a gaping hole right in the middle of your defense. Is it reasonable to expect that a 4th round pick as a rookie is going to step right in and be a difference-making nose tackle for you? I don't know. Is it reasonable to expect that this 4th rounder, who honestly, when you see him, looks more like Jaron Reed, he looks more like a 4-3 defensive tackle than a 3-4 nose guard? Is it reasonable to expect that he's going to make that kind of a difference right off the bat? I don't know. There's a lot to like about him. Pete has mentioned him as soon as the Pats came on as being one of the guys that stands out.
First off, Cameron, when we got into pads, he looked like a different guy compared to when playing in shorts, which makes sense. He's a big dude and he's really physical and strong as hell. He showed all that. Good instincts too, about the run game inside. He looks like a run defending nose tackle, and we'd love to get that from him. That'd be great.
Does he?
No, Mike, that's not it at all.
Okay, did I screw it up again?
3-4 team with 4-3 principles.
No,
I don't know.
That's not true. They used to be a 4-3 team with 3-4 principles.
We're going to have to let Stink in 27 minutes come in here.
No.
Because you know what Stink did? Stink blocked Ted Washington and Gilbert Brown and dudes that in your mind, when you think of a 3-4 nose tackle or 3-4 nose tackles, not many of those humanoids live today and play in the NFL because not many teams run that totally conventional 3-4. Even big old Al Woods. I know he could complain to the New York Jets media that he didn't get to cut it loose, that he didn't get to attack and do all of these things. He did have to muddy the waters. He did have to try to take on double teams and control a couple gaps. That's really what we're talking about. I think you've got to get this vision of like a nose tackle over the center, kind of flush it, and think more of, well, what Cam Young said he did at Mississippi State well, right? Which is cover up my linebackers. Play that cut on your sound sheet because I kind of like this. This is what he did at Starkville. He did the dirty work, and he took great pride in doing this.
My linebackers back at Mississippi State, they love me. They kind of, Jed Johnson, he's a great guy, so he kind of always gave me credit. He was the SEC tackle leader, so he always gave me credit for that. But, I just love keeping the guys clean, and once they making plays, they're going to open things up for me.
I honestly think that's how we have to start to think of it and evaluate it, because it's going to be very hard. Okay, is he a one technique? Is he a zero technique? Is he a three-eye technique? Where is he lining up? Whatever he's doing, though, we know what he's going to be asked to do, and that is use those big old heavy hands. Powerful, strong kid. And just not get washed like Puna, and not get washed like LJ, and not get washed like anybody not named Al Woods on that D-line last year.
Is it reasonable to expect that a 4th-round rookie can do that and be a difference maker right off the bat?
In a limited role with 10 to 12 snaps a game in run situations, yes. To play 40 snaps a game, absolutely, positively not. No. But to play, 10, 12 snaps, and, hey, we need you in certain matchups, maybe against certain teams that want to come out in heavy like the Raiders did last year and just slam it on you.
Isn't everyone going to want to do that against you?
Not necessarily.
I would. If I match up against this team and I look at that secondary and I look at what's up front, I'm doing that every time.
How many teams are built like that? Not many teams are built like that to run the ball that way. Most of them are built in 11 personnel. Most of them are built to throw it in this league today. But those teams, and San Francisco would be another one. Now that would be a little tough because remember we saw that and we saw the adjustment the league made when you put Red Bryant and your big run war daddies on the field. What'd they do? Throw it. So, it's going to be mixing and matching, but I think we've got to get the whole 3-4 nose tackle. I know I am. And Mark can speak to this a little more because he was inside the walls and he's not going to give all the secrets away.
So you're telling me that if a 3-4 nose tackle like one of those guys you mentioned came available, the Seahawks wouldn't want him?
They would absolutely put that in their package. They would absolutely be versatile enough to play to their strengths. Okay, cut the music here, Maura. I got to tell a quick story. I've been sitting on this for an hour.
That's number 14, Cameron Young, on the most intriguing Seahawk list.